One Nation has proposed letting Aussies have earlier access to the superannuation so that they can tap into their savings in times of crisis. Pauline Hanson says the current rules are too rigid and feels we should give workers their money now to let them help with the cost of living. Barnaby, I know you're still finalising the details of this policy, but if people have to do access their superannuation early and then have to rely on government help later in their retirement, that's taxpayers footing that bill, right?
Well, I'll tell you where they didn't foot the bill. The $1.2 billion that was stolen. I'm reading today about Mr. Islam Khan, auditor of Auditor. They were stolen from First Guardian and Shield. These people, they accessed their super all right. They stole it, the whole lot. And the government's not doing anything, not lifting a finger to reimburse those people who were stolen, even though it had oversight by ASIC. I'd love to, people said live their own life. How do people live their own life when you stole all their money? And I'm going to pursue that to the nth degree, because what were the auditors? What was ASIC doing? What were the audit partners in the companies doing? Who received fees? We had one person who provided an audit report, never did the audit, but charged for it.
Okay, and, all good questions, Barnaby.
I don't want to hear homework about how the government is so protective of superannuation. And you can get access to your super. 26 weeks on Social Security to get access. A whole range of areas to get access.
Yes, you can, but only 0.5% of Australians are actually given access to their super early. Just back to my question. So we know you're still working this out, but how far-reaching would it go? How many people would you let access their super early?
Well, you already have people who can access their super. You're in hardships, you can. And I think one of the hardships people have is if they can't feed themselves because of the cost of living. And another hardship is if they don't have a house and they put out in the street and they're living in a car. Surely it's their money, and we should give a little bit more respect about what they can do with their own money. We've got so many people, so many lobby groups out there today screaming. I didn't hear them screaming when people in First Guardian and Shield lost their money. Oh no, they're dead silent then. That was somebody else's problem. So if you're feeling so bad about it, how about the first thing to do? Get the $1.2 billion back to those people who are destitute because their money was stolen. They didn't get access to it. Someone else got access to it. They stole it. And that concerns people. And we know that as the government's now put their fingers on the labours of someone's life with new capital gains tax changes, basically taking that money off them, we know where they'll go next because they're going broke. They'll go to your super.
Okay, Tanya, in the 23-24 year, about 50,000 Australians were able to access their super early. Barnaby's got a point, hasn't he? If people are really struggling now and need it to get through the day-to-day and yet are rejected to get it, does that seem unfair?
Well, people are able to access this superannuation if they've got particular hardship, if they
Not many.
If they need to hang on to it, if they need to get their super to hang on to their house, if they get sick, if they're dying. There's a whole range of issues where you can get it. But super is there so that you don't retire into poverty. It makes the hugest difference to people as they age so that they're not relying on the age pension. We spend about $70 billion a year on the age pension as a nation. That would be much higher if people didn't have superannuation accounts. And the good news, Monique, is that we're actually helping people more with their superannuation right now. Today we announced that 200,000 people have benefited from superannuation paid on top of paid parental leave. That's an extra $285 million in super accounts. It means that a woman on the median income will be $5,400 better off in retirement because we've paid super on top of her paid parental leave. That's a life-changing difference. When we keep investing in people throughout their working lives so that they retire in comfort, that's a great thing. And right now, we're helping people with the cost of living, with 5 tax cuts, with higher wages, with cheaper healthcare, with cheaper education.
Okay.
Barnaby, I'm proud of what we do. You keep saying talking points. I'm proud of what we do. Why aren't you proud?
Okay.
Why aren't you proud of what you do?
Actually, Tanya and Barnaby, we are out of time, but it'd be interesting to hear from our viewers about what you think. Should you be able to access your super early? Tanya and Barnaby, thank you both. Happy Monday to you. All right, here's Shervo.